Hi, everybody. Ian Marsh here, Winning Edge Real Estate. And I'm glad that you found this training because what I want to cover with you today could have a very large impact on your future self. What I'm going to be discussing is how to replace your income in 7 years or less with investment properties so you can build 100K passive income. And I'm going to walk you through this personal strategy of mine. And I urge you to stick to the end because I have a special gift for you. It's called the Winning Edge Automatic Income Blueprint. And that's really my personal passive income plan that I'll be happy to share with you. So close out your Facebook, turn off your phone, focus on what I share with you for the next 30 odd minutes because it could change your financial future. Should you listen to me? It's a good question. A little bit about my background. I used to own a very large business school in Australia called Street Smart Business School. Best-selling author of The Inconvenient Truth About Business Success. I'm a property investor, a licensed real estate agent, and I've been investing in property since I was 19 years of age. These are just some of the investments that I've had over the years, and this is where I enjoy living now. I live a blessed life, and I love my animals, and basically investing has allowed me to live this life. Now, I do want to explain that I'm not a financial planner. My only qualification is that I'm a licensed real estate agent. I possess a multi-million dollar property portfolio. So I actually am in the trenches. I do this to generate wealth. I've built five multi-million dollar companies, and I've been investing since I was 19 years old. This information provided in this webinar is for educational purposes only. You should perform your own due diligence and consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional before making any investment decisions. So, my automatic wealth system. Look, I've been semi-retired now for the last 10 years, but my wealth is automatically growing at around about 300,000 per annum, and my properties do all the work for me. I actually do this because anyone that's tried retirement, you'll soon learn that you got to do something to keep yourself active and have a mission and a purpose. Hence why I'm here. But my agenda today is just to share with you my personal passive income plan, show you how it is really possible with very little capital to retire in 7 years or less with 100K passive income. That's US dollars. Give you the opportunity to learn more if you feel you'd like the same outcomes that I achieve. So this is one of the strategies that I'm implementing right now, and I'm happy if it makes sense for you to benefit from this. These are 7 little money-making cash machines, and they're located in top and what is it, from the age of 19, 29, 39, 49, 59, 40 odd years of experience, I haven't seen a simpler, more lucrative investment. That's just me. See, I believe property investment is the safest, easiest way to build wealth without stuffing it up. I've done trading, I've owned some very large companies, had 60 staff running around doing my bidding. But one of the surest and safest ways for you to consistently grow your wealth is by knowing how to invest in good real estate. I'm going to talk to a couple of myths, if you like, during our time together. The first one is finding the right property. So many people think you need to find the perfect property to start making money. There's no such thing. But what I urge you to do, I hope you have pen and paper, you should write this down. You need to learn to ask the right questions. So, is it in the right location? Is it fully funded? Does the developer have a good track record? Is government investing in infrastructure in the area? That's a good hint. What are the long-term capital gain of the area? Not just the last 1 or 2 or 3 years. What's the long-term, the last 10 or 12 years capital gain? Are there other companies investing in the area? I'll speak to some of these questions now, but these are the questions that I ask before I invest in any property. So we're talking about Thailand right now, and why Thailand? Unlike many Western countries, it still offers massive value for investors if you invest in the right area. And what you're looking at now is Thailand is down here, but you've got China and India that's 3 billion people, and they're getting wealthier. And guess what? They want to come to paradise and have a great holiday. And so where do they come? It's only a 2-hour plane flight, and you're in Thailand having the time of your life. Now, the development that I'm speaking to you about today is called Naboo Luxury Resort Residences. It's just 20 minutes south of Pattaya. This is Pattaya up here. This is known as the fun city of Thailand. We've got all the nightclubs and shopping and floating markets, etc. 20 minutes south, you've got our luxury resort right near Jomtien, next to Bang Saray Beach and Jomtien Beach. And it's also got all of these incredible tourist attractions around it, like the Big Buddha and Nong Nook Botanical Gardens and many other activities as well. But down here, we've also got was a little domestic airport. It's now been upgraded to an international airport because of all the demand. So this is only 20 minutes south of our resort. So our resort's 20 minutes south of Pattaya to here, and then this international airport 20 minutes south of our resort. And this is what the resort is going to look like. It'll be fully completed. Phase 1 will be completed in about 14 months. Phase 2 will be completed about another 15 months after that. So all up, we're looking at about 3 years, and this whole resort will be operational. And it's located right in the most pristine part of Thailand. You will not believe the water and how clean everything is here. I mentioned to you before that it's the gateway to China and India, and also Malaysia is one of the top countries that have tourism going here. And so last year they had nearly 38 million people visit Thailand last year. Obviously we had COVID and everything came to a screaming halt, but the Office of Tourism in Thailand is projecting 80 million people by 2027. So the demand is just extraordinary. And I want you to consider this. How does it feel knowing that one of the largest companies in the world, Columbia and Sony, decided to locate their theme park just 7 minutes away from our resort? Now, this theme park opened a year ago, and we had a personal tour with the director of the theme park. He was telling us that he gets 17,000 people a day go through this theme park. So again, just give you an idea of what a prime tourism location. Again, how does it feel knowing that a large company like this also decided to locate in this area? Now, to handle the increased demand, we've got the high-speed train coming from China. It's already crossed over the border into Thailand. This will come to Pattaya and to Utapao. And this is a glimpse of what the new airport looks like, or will look like when it's all completed. They're literally putting billions and billions of dollars into this area because of the potential of Jomtien. Now, the long-term capital gain. I mentioned earlier, one of the key questions you should ask yourself before investing anywhere: what is the long-term capital gain of an area? So For this area, the long-term capital gain for the last 12 years has been 5.43%. It was actually 6% last year. So again, you can be very confident then that you're going to be getting a very nice capital gain on your investment on top of whatever yield or rent you receive from your apartment, which is pretty nice to know. Okay, so they're just a couple of questions that you should be asking before deciding to invest in any property, really. So the next myth, if you like, that people have is you need a lot of money up front to start investing in properties. This is one of my properties. It's located at Southport on the Gold Coast in Australia. It cost me $600,000. When everything is paid for, I'd be lucky to end up with about 5% net from the rent because of the expenses. So yes, 600,000, that's a fair bit of money. But I want you to now look at this resort that's being constructed right now. This is the Naboo Luxury Resort. So check this out. Pretty fancy, okay? So to be a part of this resort, you're only looking at $83,000 US at the moment. Why? Because there's still promotional pricing occurring right now. They've just released another hotel. So these are what I refer to as my money-making cash machines. Now, some of you, 83,000, you wouldn't even notice a blip on your credit card by investing that sort of money. But others, you probably go, my gosh, that's a fair bit of money. And so what I want to say to you there is if you don't have resources, become resourceful. This is my first house that I purchased when I was 19. And I was only an apprentice, I didn't have a lot of money. So I got a second job driving taxis. I also rented out 3 of the bedrooms to my good friends. I rented out my garage, don't judge me, to my girlfriend. And I put a caravan in the backyard for my brother to stay in. That is how I managed to pay for my first house. I lived frugally, I saved my money, and again, get to enjoy a life, a blessed life, really. Thinking about that, for you to start building your financial fortress, it really only requires around $20,750 US as a deposit, and then you can make interest-free payments of around $2,685. That gives you a bit of a guide on the budgets of what you need so you can start to build your independence. And I guess you just have to ask yourself, how serious are you about becoming financially independent? Can you go without a few doodads so you can be financially free in just a few years? I guess that's something you need to ask yourself. Now, the next myth that I just want to speak to is managing your investment, because a lot of people think managing properties is time consuming and very stressful. And in most cases, they have a point. Here's just a few things I was thinking about with the costs of our investment properties. We got management fees from greedy real estate agents, maintenance, routine maintenance, emergency repairs, renovations, council rates, insurance, building insurance, landlord insurance, utilities, strata fees, vacancy costs when your tenants aren't there. You got depreciation, legal fees, land tax, pest control. I'm not finished yet. You got to advertise for tenants. You got the body corporates. You've got capital expenditure. You got property inspections. You got taxation and capital gains tax. That, if you're in Australia, that really hurts when you have capital gains tax. So the end result, when you're investing in Australia, is the average net return is 4% on an apartment. That's what you're left with after all of those things. In LA, you're looking at 5.73%, New Zealand 4.52%, and Dubai 7.3%. So a lot of your profits after you get your rent get eaten with outgoings and expenses and taxes, etc. However, with Naboo in Jomtien, the luxury resorts there, your yield is between 9 to 15% net. There are no outgoings. You receive 8% paid quarterly per annum while it's under construction. How much are you getting in the bank right now? Probably not that much. No capital gains tax, a 7-year guaranteed buyback option, or you can actually sell it yourself. It's managed 24/7 by the world's largest hotel chain, Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. I'm sure you've probably heard of them. So this is the development that is going to be finished. Phase 1 will be opening, as I said, in about 14 months. Managed completely by the Ramada and Encore brand of Wyndham Hotels. And they literally do everything for you. So remember, our goal is to create 100K passive income from 7 properties in 7 years. And it all starts with just $20,750 as a deposit. And then you can make interest-free payments after that. But don't start with the big picture of 7 properties. Just, if you like the sounds of this, just consider starting with 1. Okay, this is the investment vehicle, the 1-bedroom apartment. And so the investment, $83,000, approximately $20,750 as a deposit, $2,685 for 17 months, and then you make a final payment of 20% on the 18th payment. Now, when these are operational, you'll be getting a yield of 15% net on the apartment. Capital gain, 5.45%. So that gives you potential return on investment of over 20%. So your reward after 7 years of being disciplined, you'll have an annual passive income based on these projections of $118,261. Your apartments will be worth $704,662. So you're going to be able to start living life on your terms with this sort of income and not have to rely on anybody else. And I can tell you firsthand, it's much better being in that position, ladies and gentlemen. Let me ask you a question. If it's okay with you, can I just spend 10 minutes going over a very special offer I've created to help you implement what we've been talking about here today? Would you like to have that passive income so you can retire in just 7 years? Have it fully managed by the world's largest hotel chain. Invest in one of the largest growing parts of the world that still represents huge value for property. And you can get started with just $21,200. With this, consider, so I've been talking about 100K, okay, as a passive income. But what if all this did was help you replace half your income in 7 years? Would it be worth it? So you've got 50,000 coming in. You've got maybe 3 to 4 apartments instead of 7. Okay. All I say is, don't start saying to yourself, I can't do that. All right. Think, how can I? Because that's exactly the question I asked when I wanted to get my first home when I was 19 and everybody said that I couldn't do it. Maybe you find a friend like I did, or use equity from an existing property that you have. Get a second job. There are always ways for you to accomplish the goal. It just really depends how serious you are. And my special offer to you is this week you can enjoy a free investment verification flight and 2 nights accommodation when you purchase an apartment. Now that's valued generally at $2,700, depending on where you live in the world. And here's my ironclad guarantee. So in the unlikely event that you take your free verification flight to Thailand and you find what I've represented is untrue, I will buy your apartment back from you. Yes, you heard that. I want as many of these money-making cash machines as I can get. So when you go there, you can confirm that, yes, you're going to get paid 8% per annum paid quarterly. You'll be able to confirm that Aquaverse is less than 10 minutes away, and yes, they have had up to 17,000 people a day go through that theme park. You'll be able to drive to Utapao Airport and see it being upgraded and be able to find out all the major countries that are now flying to that airport. You'll be able to confirm that the high-speed train is coming to Pattaya from China. Now, China has 1.5 billion people, ladies and gentlemen, and it's coming to our front door pretty much, and then on to Utapao. Tourism is expanding exponentially. The resort, you'll be able to confirm that they've signed their 20-year agreement to manage the development and that the projected returns are 9 to 15% per annum after all outgoings. And this is based on their 9,000 hotels around the world. They know what everything costs, right down to the last dollar. Here's the awful truth, ladies and gentlemen. There was a study done quite a few years ago now, and they saw that out of 100 people being born, by the time they reach 67, only one of them is wealthy, 3 are still working, 5 are independently wealthy, 29 are dead, 62 are on welfare. And this was done by the US Social Security Administration. I don't know about you, but I would much rather be at the top of this study than at the bottom, okay? And it's easy to do. It just takes a little bit of discipline. So imagine in just 7 years, you could be financially free. Your journey starts with just one apartment. And if you feel that this could be the solution you've been looking for, just click the button below. It says, Let's Talk. And we'll have a Zoom meeting. I'll walk you through the opportunity, and then you can see if it feels right for you. I do hope you've learned something today and that you were scribbling mad notes. Hit that button down below. And this week, you're also going to benefit from a free inspection flight where you can confirm everything that I've shared with you, and 2 nights luxury accommodation when you purchase an apartment. And again, remember, if I have not relayed this correctly, I will buy your apartment back from you if you don't want it. Okay, until we talk, bye for now.